And welcome back to part 5 of What If Hinata were on Team 7. So last time on Naruto What If, Team 7 had their first encounter with Lord Orochimaru. And yeah, Sasuke, unfortunately, did not make it out of that. Did not make it out of that scenario any better than he did in the previous one. But what did change is Hinata is still there and kicking, and Naruto still actually managed to get out of there without having his chakra sealed up by Orochimaru's 5-prong seal. So Naruto is there as a second measure of defense against the Sound Trio when they come out. I have established a couple of things he did prior to this video while they were hunkered up. And he also admitted to Hinata that he is the container of the nine-tailed fox. Hinata, being Hinata, accepts him and loves him for who he is. Not saying the love part, obviously, but they shared a nice hug. Naruto's like, hug. And Hinata fainted for the first time in so long. But now we cut over to the present, where the sun is rising and the Sound Trio are getting ready to attack. That said, the Sound Trio also are aware that Hinata is a Hyuga, and therefore she has the Byakugan. So they're going under the assumption that they know the Sound Trio is there. And sure enough, they do know, because Hinata's not dumb. But they're also coming at this, they also still realize that there's probably traps later around, so they just do what they did initially. They basically, can Sasuke come out and play? We want Sasuke. It's like, well, you can't have. It's like, we will not let you get Sasuke. Yeah, buzz off. It's like, so it's like, very well, and they charge in, and obviously Hinata sets off the traps, and they avoid the traps. No problem whatsoever. And one thing that does happen is, like, small animals, seeing these logs go flying around, they're just, scattering everywhere, and, squirrels running amok and everything like that. It's that the best you got? A few squirrels show up, and all of a sudden, boom, Naruto clones pop up and land Zaku straight in the jaw. Just boom, run an uppercut right there. And Zaku goes, blah! When did that little brat do that? And Zaku's like, oh, you're dead, kid. Bring it on, Shadow Clone Jutsu. Naruto just charges clones in there. Damn it. It wasn't Wind Scythe. It was Slicing Air Vacuum. Was that the name of Zaku's technique? Naruto. It basically, even though it's technically a sound technique, it's actually wind is what it is. Decapitating airwaves, that's what it is. So decapitating airwaves, and basically just takes out a bunch of Naruto's clones. Naruto, though, can spam clones like it's nobody's business, even with the seal on him. When Orochimaru put that on, he could still spam his clones like it wasn't like they were going out of style. So Naruto's able to, charge in there. Meanwhile, Kin and Dosu are taking on Hinata, who, to be fair, is able to keep them at a good distance. They know they can't get into a physical altercation with her because she is a Hyuga, and therefore it's going to be a big problem. Naruto even sends a couple clones to aid them out. But unfortunately, Dosu's technique alone is able to kind of just boom, and even Naruto is like, ah! Zaku, unfortunately, also gets caught up in that real quick. Dosu, watch where you're freaking funneling that. Oh, right, whatever. And, Naruto and Hinata are starting to kind of just go down on the ground. They're just in pain. Hinata is a bit more fair. Naruto's healing factor and senses can probably give him a bit of not a buffer, a mild resistance, but unfortunately because he's also probably got heightened senses on some level, probably not anywhere near like Kiba's, but on some level they are going to hurt him more. So it's a weird kind of catch-22. Unfortunately for Naruto, Hinata is kind of down at the moment. She's struggling to get back. I was like, ah. It's like, now then, we're just going to have to take Sasuke for ourselves. No, you're not. And where are you going, kid? And just kind of Zaku steps on Naruto. You're going to pay for that lucky little shot you got there. And then what happens there? Because now we have a problem. What did they do? And without really acting or thinking, without a moment's pause, the Inoshika Trio appears like they did before. Now, why do they appear here? They don't appear here for the same reason that they appeared originally, because it was Ino wanting to show up Sakura, blah, 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 blah. They wanted to save their friends. This one is a bit more, it's like, no, it's Naruto and Hinata, and Sasuke's probably there too. And Ino wants to show off for Sasuke. At the same time, she does want to help out, like Hinata and even Naruto. And Choji and Shikamaru do have a relationship on some level, friendship-wise, with Naruto from back in the day. We do see this in some flashbacks, at least in the anime they do. So Naruto, they think is a decent enough guy. Awkward and kind of obnoxious, but a decent enough guy. So ultimately, the Ina Shikachou trio come to help him out. And that does go, roughly speaking, about the same. Like they at first get it to work, or first work it out, but ultimately they ultimately get overpowered. Ultimately, does Lee show up? I think Lee kind of stops and observes because Sakura's not involved in this fight. Now, would Lee still be having this obsession with Sakura, at least in terms of, like, fighting her? It's like, please, be my girlfriend. No. Which was a little forward. But eventually we got laid, so what can we do? It worked on someone. Please, be my wife. Bear my child. So wait, Guy was the blue beast, Lee was the green beast. So that mean metals like blue, green. I guess yellow and blue make green. So does that make metal the yellow beast? I don't know. It's a legitimate question when you think about it. But ultimately, Sasuke does wake up. It's like, what's going on here? And it's like Sasuke, and Hinata's even like, Sasuke, and she's able to finally kind of get up because Sakura was able to walk it off eventually and stop Sasuke. So I imagine Hinata could do the same. Naruto was able to get up. You're awake, and they're like looking at him, seeing the purple aura, and just looks. And Sasuke kind of just takes a quick glance over at Hinata and Naruto. It goes Naruto, Hinata. Or which one, who hurt you two? And they kind of just, Naruto's just like, it was those guys. I see. And then he kind of knocks Keen right out. Does like, what is this? No, it's impossible. Seeing the curse mark, Dosu's just frozen. Zaku on the edge, she's like, I'm going to blow you away, decapitating airwaves. And, he gets behind Zaku and breaks both his arms. Ah! And eventually, Sasuke wants to keep going, but even Hinata and Naruto are like, well, no, we got to stop him. And Naruto's like, that's enough, Sasuke. No, we're just getting started. Like, you better let go of me, Naruto. Let go of me now, or you'll be next. It's like, what are you talking about? Where's Timon? Just stop it. He's had enough. Look at him. You crippled him. I said, get out of my way, Naruto. Last chance. Fine. I don't want to. I'll knock you out of it. I'll knock you back to uncover. What would Naruto say? I'll knock you back out if I have to. But Naruto's unsure at the moment because Sasuke's, all this power is like, I don't know if I can take him. Even beforehand, Naruto would probably wouldn't be able to fully take Sasuke given everything Sasuke has over what Naruto has. Naruto could put up a good fight, but couldn't take Sasuke, I don't think. And I'm talking about in this version. Even in the canon, we got to that fight they had before the Sasuke retrieval arc. They were pretty even. But it's because Sasuke was really underestimating Naruto. So I don't know who would have actually. That's a good question. Who do you think actually would have won that fight? Because if the Rasengan had hit that Chidori, we saw comparatively what each of them was doing in terms of power. I think Naruto's Rasengan would have actually beat out the Chidori in that circumstance. Regardless, eventually Sasuke's about to turn on Naruto, but then Hinata comes in at the last minute because she's focused. She can see with her Byakugan. His chakra is not only all over the place, like flaring like a flame. It is dark. There's something corrupt and evil and tainted about this. But she can see where it's radiating from. She can see the curse mark. So she does the best logical move she can think of and just gentle fists him only in the areas around the curse, the chakra points that are basically around the curse mark. And Sasuke, Hinata, he starts to recede just because the chakra doesn't have anywhere to flow. It's stuck there. So now it's and he just finally, Sasuke doesn't crumble, but kind of just starts, huffing, catching his breath. And he is, because remember, the curse mark does alter your perception and your mentality to some degree. So Sasuke isn't quite in his right state of mind when he was, when the curse mark was activated. He was still in control more or less of his actions, but he isn't quite there when he doesn't have it activated. At least not until you get to Shippuden, where he pretty much has control over the damn thing. Or the end of the original part of the series. So Sasuke does eventually just, Hinata, Naruto, Naruto finally just, you finally back to normal, idiot? Like, what happened? And then, Dosu just suddenly offers up his scroll like he did in the original. It's like, take this. Take this, and we'll leave in peace. Just take this as a peace offering and let us go. I was like, what? You think you could just attack us and let it, and that's it? And no, I don't think that's the case. There will be repercussions, but for now, we are a bit out of our depth. He's just and just thinks, what are you planning, Orochimaru? And he takes Dosu and Zaku and Kin out of there, and it's Sasuke and Naruto and Hinata. So they take a minute to see the scroll. Now, remember, in this version, Naruto was able to keep the scroll that they originally got. And I'll fully admit, I actually don't remember which scroll Dosu had that he gave them. Part of me wants to say it was the exact same one. Now, for the sake, there's two ways I can go about this. Because I tried looking it up too. I can't recall which scroll he gave them and which scroll they had. So there's two ways I could go about this. And we're not done with the what if. We're only, not even 12 minutes in yet? No, don't worry. We got at least 10 minutes more to go. Relax. But I can go with that is the scroll they needed, and they can just beeline it straight for the tower. Or that's not the scroll they got, or that they needed, and they still got to struggle and get the scroll for the Rain Ninja later on. And I think for more fun storytelling purposes, I'm actually going to have that be the opposite scroll, the scroll that they need. And I'll tell you why once we get to the tower. But anyway, they're recovering. Sasuke thanks Hinata, he thanks Naruto. And he asks what happens, and they ask, what do you remember? And I just remember that weird snake bastard. He bit me, and then the color went black, and next thing I know, I woke up. And what did you do, Hinata? What did you do to me? I was like I knew what I was doing, but I didn't want to stop. And she basically explains that, I used my Byakugan to see what was going on, and the chakra was stemming from the seal that's apparently on your neck now. Kind of makes you wonder if, this is kind of morbid, if you cut the seal, like the entire thing of the flesh off that seal, is the seal ingrained all the way through your body? Like, if you were like to cut that circle of flesh off, is the seal just gone after that? Probably not. There's probably some workaround for that. Maybe the seal reappears on your body or something. I don't know. Then again, maybe it doesn't. Naruto's weird. But she basically says she blocked off the seals, the chakra points around the seal. Because while it is on his skin, while it does extend out, if it doesn't have, it's feeding off his chakra as well as the chakra is giving him, but corrupting the chakra he already has. So it does seem like she was able to, or she explains, seems like I was able to put at least a temporary halt on him. Really, he basically says, "How long do you think this will last?" Well, if you were to go to a medic, it wouldn't last very long because they would release the seals, the chakra points themselves. Your chakra points are naturally going to heal themselves eventually. If I were to give you my best guess, and she's like, that's all I'm doing because I don't know what I'm doing at this moment. That's her. It's like, I don't know what I just did something and it worked. If I were to guess, by how you naturally recover, maybe a day, give or take, a day and a half. But until then, you should be. It shouldn't flare up. And if it flares up again, do you think you can do it again? I could, but repeated strikes to the same chakra points over and over again in such quick succession could result in permanent damage, and that could be even worse than what you got going on right now. And Sasuke just weighs the options, and he realizes that Naruto, you still have the scroll. Wait, you still have our scroll, right? He's like, oh yeah. It's like that. And then they pick up the scroll. And goes, we got both scrolls. We need to beeline it for the tower. And Sasuke just does an assessment, tries to focus in chakra. He finds that focusing for like just straight like juice, like his fire style, stuff like that, isn't too difficult because he's molding the chakra from other points and just expelling it out his mouth. But he's also noticing that it's a little harder to activate and concentrate on his Sharingan than it was before because this is closer to this area of chakra. So while general jutsu is okay, he realizes that his Sharingan is going to be a bit more difficult to use at the moment. But if they can just beeline it for the tower, they might be able to get some help on that. So they beeline it for the tower. Maybe you might run into another team and they just quickly beat their asses. And they do eventually get there. Now, how early do they get there? Ooh, not quite as early as, say, as Team 8. But maybe like a day prior, 2 days prior. They open up they do the seals. And I would imagine it would be Iruka. Iruka was there. He's like, so he's like, Iruka-sensei, hey! Well, yeah. And then he explains the whole, sword or the heaven and earth thing. And, Sasuke and Hinata basically brings up, like, Sasuke needs medical attention. It's like, yeah. I was like, and Sasuke, and remember, Sasuke was a little hesitant because he didn't want to be cut out of the tournament or anything like that. But that's because they arrived literally with moments to spare. Here, they have an extra day or two to possibly get this taken care of. So Sasuke is definitely more willing to have it looked at. And basically, as Iruka is being told this, 2 Anbu show up and basically say, Sasuke Uchiha, Naruto Uzumaki, Hinata Hyuga, please, come with us. Lord Okage wishes to see you. We said a word with the end. Sure enough, they realize what it's about because it's clear. They know Orochimaru. They all knew Orochimaru was there in terms of all the higher ups at that point. So basically, they meet up with the third. Kakashi's there. Anko's there. And a couple other ninja of whatever worth. I don't know if it'd like say Ozma or anyone would be there, but those guys are definitely there. And they explain what happened. And I see. So we're going to need to get a seal set upon this very quickly. And I'm trying to remember the actual time frame because we never know when Sasuke wakes up after having the seal put on him. But because he participated in his first match, got the seal put on him, and because that match didn't last more than when you actually think of the in universe, like how long that took, no more than an hour or 2 at most. So yeah, and then Sasuke's recovering in a bed. Now, how long it took him to recover? Probably a day, maybe. Sasuke's pretty stubborn, and he was healing pretty quick. So let's just give him a day for recovery, for sleeping that off. Maybe a day and a half. But I'll have him awake for the exams. Don't worry. If that's something that's going to bother you. But more importantly is that Hinata, when Nako and like they're examining Sasuke's seals, like they notice that he's got bruising around his seal that are indicative of something else. He's like, what's this bruising? And then Hinata actually, that was me. Sorry. Is it? Wait, what's Hinata? What did you do? The seal seems to be trying to activate, but is unable to. The chakra has nowhere to go, so it seems to recede back in. What did you do? And then she explains that it was a quick. Sasuke was kind of going nuts, so it was a quick thing I did where I sealed him off. It seemed to work for the time being. This is like, well, this is different. Did we not consider this? Well, no one's ever really had to have the seal put on him. Or when the Hyuga present, because no Hyuga would ever be around Orochimaru at the time. So it's one of those things where they're thinking about something, just pondering over, and then Sarutobi basically just looks at something on the arm and is like, "Yeah, bring me Hyuga. Hayashi? I can't. Is it Hayashi or Hiyashi? Bring me Hinata's dad." So he's like, "Father?" He's like, "Oh, wait, what?" And even Sasuke, "What?" Then a few moments later, I think it's Hiyashi. I'm gonna go with Hiyashi. Hiyashi comes in, he's like, "You summoned me, Lord Okage." And then he sees Team 7, and he's like, "Hinata, what are you doing? Hinata, what are you doing here, daughter?" We were called. It's like, "Wait, this is your dad?" It's like, Yes, yes, it is. Be respectful, Naruto. He's not only Hinata's father, but the head of the largest clan and most prestigious clan in the village. Oh, okay. Yeah. Hi. Even Naruto, because that's the thing. Take out adult Naruto meeting his father-in-law when he got married to Hinata. We never saw an interact. We saw Naruto interact with a lot of people. We saw saw him interact with even Kurenai. I think we even saw him interact with Ozma at one point. Guy definitely, Kakashi obviously. Some of the other village heads once or twice, but Hiyashi? No, we never saw that interaction. And I think even Naruto, for all his disrespectful calling Hokage old man stuff, he takes a look at Hiyashi and that look on his face and just like, this man, he can just like, okay, yep, nice to meet you, sir. You're more respectful than what I've been told. I was like, what? Wait, who's been saying anything? And Hiyashi just seems to look. He's like, why am I so scared of this man? Is it because he's the leader of a clan, or is it because he's Hinata's dad? Wait, why would that bother me? Now he's just kind of contemplating. He's like, well, I mean, he's kind of doing a Midoriya moment where he's just kind of muttering to himself, but so quiet that no one really hears me. He's like, well, I mean, I really like Hinata. She's a really close friend, but I mean, that hug, that felt really good. But I mean, she's my friend. I couldn't really think about it. And plus, I like Sakura. Don't I like Sakura? I mean, Sakura doesn't really like me. Like, he's kind of just muttering in his head. Even the fox, who normally hasn't shown up except for his chakra, and this is even like, oh, God. Meanwhile, Sarutobi explains what Hinata actually did. And Hiyashi legitimately has looked like, daughter, you did this? Like, yes. I must admit, that impressive indeed. And Hinata's like, that's a legitimate compliment. Like, there's no ifs and about. That's a legitimate compliment. Oh my God, my dad gave me a compliment. Like she's still clamoring for his respect. But the reason I brought you is because of what your daughter accomplished on the young Uchiha. I suggest we get a medic to heal up the chakra points as best as possible. For what we're about to do is not something to be taken lightly. If what you're thinking, if what you're asking is what I think you're asking, I'm willing to help, but there's no guarantee it will be any more effective. If anything, it could cause more problems. What are they planning to do? And Kakashi even says, "He's like, don't worry, don't worry, Sasuke, don't worry, Naruto, don't worry, Hinata, we're gonna have it all taken care of." So essentially, Hinata and Naruto have to wait outside while they're performing the task. They get the seal ready as Kakashi's there, because Kakashi's the one who did. Though, to be fair, they got the third there. I think that honestly the third would probably do it more than anyone else, and he's probably even better at seals than Kakashi is. So he's got the seal ready. But just as they're doing it, just as he's about to, on my mark, Hiyashi. Yes, Lord Okage. Now! And basically, as he's sealing up sealing up the seal, Hiyashi strikes the chakra points. Basically, it's a simultaneous process. There's a reason like Hinata couldn't do it. Hiyashi, by all accounts, is the strongest Hyuga because he's the leader of the clan. So he has the precision and the power to seal them off at the right time to seal off both the chakra points while the seal is setting. So when the seal takes itself, basically takes to Sasuke's neck, and the seals eventually, chakra points eventually reset, the seal is now integrated into those chakra points. That's the way I'm basically describing it. That can be completely bullshit. I know, I'm completely aware I'm just going off the rails here a little bit. But in the world of Naruto, this does make some sense in my head. So, basically, and obviously Sasuke still passes the F out from that. So it's like, it seems to have worked. The seal seems to have integrated itself with his chakra points, not just around the seal itself. If this, we'll have to wait and see when he wakes up and have him test out his abilities. But if this works out the way we think, it should become a more effective seal than you previously thought. Very good. Thank you for your cooperation, Hiyashi. Of course. And then he just quickly looks over to Kakashi. Kakashi, how is my daughter doing on your team? And Kakashi, Kakashi thanks him for helping with Sasuke, and then he just says, your daughter's actually progressing quite well in this team. She seems to have, not only do her, Naruto, and Sasuke actually work pretty effectively as a team, she's actually grown quite confident, a lot more confident since being around the both of them. Yes, I can see, particularly around I can tell, particularly around a certain someone. And he does give a look to, again, he can, he knows where they're sitting. He can even see out the window as, no, Hinata and Naruto are kind of just, sitting next to each other. Hinata's not holding, they're not holding hands or anything, but she's using Naruto as a bit of a security blanket, and Naruto's just like, don't worry, we're gonna, he's enjoying Hinata next to him. I see you're noticing that I see you're noticing a little spark between them too. They're young, let them enjoy their youth. And he just walks out. And Naruto's like, is Sasuke gonna be okay? I mean, what did you do? And then she just gives him a look. Sorry, did it all go well? It's like, yes, as far as we can tell, everything went as best as it could have. The rest is up to Sasuke. Hinata, I look forward to hearing how well you do in the preliminaries, or in the next round of the tuning exams. And as he walks away, he stops briefly and says, Naruto, I hope you whatever your intentions are with my daughter are strictly are professional and amicable. I can't even say that word. It's like, of course, yeah. Hina's one of my closest friends. I would never try to be disrespectful to her. And he just kind of gives a look. Good, I'm glad to hear it, and just walks away. And then Naruto just looks at Hinata. What is oh man, I can't say that word. Amicable. What does that word mean? I can't say that word for some reason. I know what amicable. If someone knows the word I'm trying to say, please write it down so I can. Please put a comment in there so I can read it, try to pronounce it myself, and get it right. It's like, don't worry, Naruto. And so that's where we're leaving this part 5 off. I got a little stutterbrained. Not stutterbrained. Wow, not scatterbrained either. I was having a little trouble with my flow a little earlier in the video. And I'll admit it's because I got back from work and I'm just like, it was not a rough day, but it started to wear on me a little bit. So I'm kind of in a weird spot right now. So sorry if that came off a little scattered in the beginning, but I ended it in a strong spot, I believe. Until then, though, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. By the way, I know someone basically brought it up where please don't make it a Naruhina. I know it's so obvious, blah, blah, blah. Or if anything, Sasuke Hinata make more sense and all that. Look, I always have to explain it every time I do it, but it's just kind of the way it is. I go with the most... I don't overly change the history too much as long as the what if doesn't force me to. I go with the way the story progresses naturally within the canon of the series, just based off the changes that occur. And there's no real change, at least on Hinata's part, where she would probably be more interested in Sasuke over Naruto. Now, that's not to say in your defense that I might not do some sort of little love triangle where... So I'm not saying I will either. I'm just saying I couldn't do a love triangle where Sasuke is actually interested in Hinata for a change. But to be quite honest, while that could work, Sasuke probably isn't going to be that big enough of a douche to try to steal someone who, besides, he already knows she's into Naruto, so that makes no sense either. The only way for that to work is for her to completely fall out of love with Naruto, and then suddenly be attracted to Sasuke. Well, not suddenly, but develop feelings to Sasuke. Besides, there are cooler pairings I can do with Sasuke than Sasuke and Hinata. Although, to be fair, I'm sure eventually I'll get to a what if where that pairing becomes a likelihood. Probably it'll have to be due to the fact that Naruto's personality changes completely, or he's so not involved with the village in some capacity. Like, what if he goes rogue or is exiled and stuff like that? Those are what ifs I've been given. Those are scenarios where Hinata probably would not end up with Naruto. So again, it all depends on how does this play out. And right now, it's not playing out in a way that's not going to result in Naruhina. I can tell you this right now, though. I The longer this one goes on, the less likely I am to consider doing a Sasuke pairing, though. Sasuke is probably going to get paired up with someone else. Now, could it be Tenten? I've done that before and people liked it. Maybe. Could it be like Tamari? That's one I haven't done. If I can think of a way to justify it, sure. Or could it be a completely other party? Anything is possible. Until then, we will have to wait and see because this next part isn't until Sunday. So until then, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.